What's the next big movie you're looking forward to?
I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't. Oh, Mission Impossible.
I was about to say, there it is.
I saw. It was like a little quick thing of it, and I saw a returning character,
Sure.
and I was like, "Oh, that's why they calling it that."
Yeah.
And when I saw who it was, I was like, "I'm a little dead like eight movies
like 25
ago,
years ago.
Like, what we doing?"
I'm excited for Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible it comes out on my birthday, so like that's what I'm doing. I can't wait. That Mission Impossible is like my favorite action franchise. So
that was Fast and Furious.
No, I love Fast and Furious because it's ridiculous, but no, Mission Impossible. Check the review. I never said Fast and the Furious was the best. No, I love them because they're ridiculous, but Mission Impossible number one.
What's going on, everyone? TBH here, and today I'm here to rank the OG Mission Impossible movies. What else more do you need? In celebration of the upcoming Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, releasing on my birthday, July 12th, yes, we're going to go through all 6 of these to prepare for number 7. So that's what we're doing here today. I don't want to reveal my ranking too early, so I got to be careful. I plan to start with cons on the second movie. So you know what? We'll start with pros here. There's a lot to me, so bear with me. I do fanboy over this movie. This came out when I was 2. I don't know how old I was when I first saw it, but it has a charm and a cheesiness that it's appropriate to me. It may not be for everyone, especially if you don't have an attachment to it like me, but I dare say at least 2/3 of this movie is iconic. Very early on, this movie starts to show its cards in the production. Like the dummies, the prosthetic work, it's really impressive. Really early on, we see Tom Cruise tear off a mask, and it is seamless, especially for 1996. Props where they are due. It is convincing, and there's also 2 deaths that involve dummies, and I'm not talking about people. Full cards on the table. It's Emilio Estevez's character and then John Voight's character. It starts and ends with a memorable death for me. It definitely revels in the fact that it's a continuation of the series. A lot of it feels like the iconic rappel scene kind of looks like it was shot in like a Death Star or something Star Wars related. Don't come at me. I don't know enough Star Wars. I haven't even seen all the movies, so don't come at me on that one. Sorry. I don't understand it. Sometimes the tech reminds me of like something Michael Keaton's Batman would have. It kind of looks like it would fit into that world, if I'm being honest. What someone from the 70s would envision today. Something like that. You know, a lot of buttons and shit, or it's like super white and clean. Definitely has that retro feel to it, and it makes sense. Long story short, early on tells you it has stakes. If you didn't know who Tom Cruise was, you might not even think he was safe after all this. Or if I didn't tell you there was more movies after this, Ethan's team is quickly wiped out. Some of them pretty gruesomely.
Jack. Jack.
Ethan being the only survivor, naturally, it looks suspicious. So, where he meets up with Kittredge at the aquarium, I love that scene. It's just tense, and you really get to understand that Ethan is not a dummy. Even after the shitty day, he's still on point for sure. I love this scene right here. It's just so cool to me.
All right, Hunt. Enough is enough. You have bribed, cajoled, and killed, and you have done it using loyalties on the inside. You want to shake hands with the devil, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure that you do it in hell. Tactical nuke incoming!
moments where it doesn't feel like a 70s perspective of modern day culture, it also feels like a 90s product. There's no way around it. The soundtrack will just kick in and you're like, okay. Early internet, you couldn't do shit on the internet back in the day. What the fuck?
You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
There is a character early on introduced named Max, who is basically the main antagonist. She's kind of like the boss of the bad guys. But I actually like her portrayal, and she feels like a fun character. However, her very last scene, her exit out of this movie, it's iconic for a different reason. I'll tell you that. When most of Ethan's original team is killed off, he ends up recruiting a couple other people. Specifically, one played by Ving Rhames and the other played by Jean Reno. This is just a cool scene on the train. Can't remember Jean Reno's character, but those two are really fun, actually. Jean Reno, I guess he likes to smoke and he likes knives, which we'll get into. Luther is just cool, and apparently he's the tech god. That's just a fun scene overall. I told y'all this might be a very biased review. I just love this movie. He ends up recruiting those two to pull off a heist. And if you know this movie, you probably know this scene. Even if you don't know this movie, you've probably seen it somewhere referenced in pop culture. Even for me today, I can still pull up references to this scene. I love the character Kitchford, played by Henry Czerny. Shout out. So glad to hear that Kitchford is coming back for the 7th one. He's such a dick. It has a lot of problems, but I love this movie. Kittredge. I brought that up because Kittredge ends up blaming someone who gets duped by Ethan and crew, and it was a unwilling ally named Agent Dunlow. Agent Dunlow really gets the short stick on this one. I find it hilarious what happens after the heist, but it's fucked up. He's just puking his brains out. He's dosed by Claire while he's on his lunch break or something, and then he's just inexplicably puking out of nowhere. So, he really got the short stick there. And then not only that, because he was used to break in unwillingly, as I said, he ends up getting a major fucking demotion. There's this scene in the second act somewhere where Ethan's just showing off his magic tricks. I love shit like that. It just really kind of shows that this man has a lot of skills. A lot of fucking skills. Very talented. I don't know if that was really done or not. I don't care. Yeah, at some point I also just kind of stopped taking notes for pros and just said, still love this shit. Fucking classic. The helicopter bit is super unrealistic. I love it. It makes no fucking sense. Ving Rhames is always cool in these movies. And I don't know if that's like the stereotype of the one black guy is cool. But I mean, I'd rather that than him be the dummy. Luther has his place in this franchise for a reason. 2/3 of this movie, iconic. I stand by that. Yeah, Tom, this movie, it's not perfect. I love it. It's not perfect. It's the first con I wrote down is the female representation. It's bad. I don't know what to tell you folks. The character Claire is horribly written, and she's one of our main characters. I feel bad for the actor. It's not her fault. She was just written and given a shitty role. While we're on Claire, apparently she's married to John Voight's character, Jim Phelps. The age difference is like 30 years. Actually, it's really cool that Jim Phelps in this movie, he was the protagonist of the original series back in the 60s. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice little continuation, unless you're a super fan and maybe you hate his interpretation. The nerve. They had John Voight calling her his wife? That's your daughter. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Jack. I mentioned earlier that Jack's death it's haunting and it sticks with me. Something I'll never forget. He accepted his death a bit too easy, if you ask me. Lay down something. I don't know. Don't just stare at the fucking thing. I get it, scary. I can't imagine what I would do, but come on, man. You're an agent. Try. This was on the pro list as well. This movie is 90s as fuck. To its detriment a lot of times. Agent Dunlow was dosed very easily, very conveniently as well. He's sitting having his coffee, reading his newspaper. We're in a cafeteria for this scene. He's at a table with 4 chairs. He's sitting on one side, and a stranger who doesn't acknowledge him sits right next to him and is just all on him. I mean, I get it. I think I get it now. You know, I might not question it either. Okay, not the point. Personal space is very important to me. So, yeah, you know what? I would say something in my head. Of course, he's not aware of what's happening, but come on, man. You gotta watch your shit. Wow, Ethan is hanging up top. Now, this room is just fluorescent white and it's reflective and all that. It's really clean and just futuristic in a way. So clean that you can see reflections in the floor. Hello, Agent Dunlow. You don't see movement. Like, can you use your peripherals? Something. I don't know. But, dude, like, there's a person right there. Kind of understand now. Maybe I understand now why you got such a demotion. Not a fan of when Ethan puts together what really happened between Jim and the rest of the team. I like the concept that Jim Phelps is telling him a false story and Ethan's going along with it while piecing together what really happened. It's a cool concept. I just don't really care for the execution. No big deal there. No movie's perfect. Another flaw. Jim is exposed by Ethan putting on spy glasses, which, okay, may not be a ridiculous statement without context, but he very slowly puts on these glasses that has a camera within it. Like, Mr. Phelps, you are a spy who works for a spy agency, and you know we have access to tech like this. Why are you letting this happen? It don't seem suspicious to you that Ethan suddenly cannot see and needs glasses. Awfully convenient, isn't it? And my last con is how Ethan survives the explosion at the end. Ethan blows up a helicopter, which is tethered to a train inside the tunnel. Anyway, he blows the helicopter up and uses the fire to push him back onto the train. Holy shit, I see where Fast and the Furious gets it from. Mission Impossible was there first. However, whereas Fast and the Furious got way more ridiculous and way more movies in such a short time, Mission has actually gotten more realistic as far as the stunt work. More hands-on as opposed to that CGI fire. It's pretty bad, but it's a 90s action movie, so I guess you got to expect a lot of cheese. Overall, though, I mean, I do love this movie. It's great to me.
2,000 years later.
Is it time? It's time. Mission Impossible 2. The really bad one. I'm so excited. I'm going to start off with the very few pros I have about this movie. Oh, man. I'm looking at my notes here. It's a very small part of the page for the pros. I split it right in half for the cons. And then I had to turn it around for more cons. So this running through the pros should be pretty fast. Also, I should mention I've watched this movie last year recently, so that's about 4 to 9 years too early in between rewatches. So I did this for y'all. Start off with pros. Okay. First pro is fucking TC is insane. Shocker. Yes, but he is out there climbing a mountain. That is how we are reintroduced to Ethan Hunt. And this motherfucker is out there without a safety net. Just doing TC shit. Matter of fact, I even heard he got injured doing this, so much respect. Commitment to the craft. This movie is actually pretty iconic in not a good way. This came out when I was about 6. Even then, I knew when Tom Cruise and Tandy Newton are carelessly driving and fucking around on that mountain. Ooh, it should be a con, but that scene is just hilarious to me. I cannot get through without busting out laughing.
You're a spy. Well, if you want me, you gotta catch me.
So, courting, that's, I'll give it a pro for that. My boy Luther shows up, of course. As I mentioned earlier, Luther and Ethan are the only two that pop up in every movie. This time, he's got an upgrade, okay? He comes into the Outback with $800 shoes and gets mad when he steps in some shit. Come on, bro. I mean, he's fly as hell. Don't get it twisted, but damn, man. Come on, bro. You know better. At one point, I believe Brendan Gleeson's character, he's shirtless. So we get a shirtless fat guy scene. Thank you, Hollywood. Usually they put a shirt on us big folks. So, you know, he was out there free tittying it up. So thank you, Brendan Gleeson. The rappel scene was actually a nice little callback to the first movie. There's this scene in the movie where Ethan rappels down, and, you know, it's very resemblant of the first one, which is super iconic. We'll never get over that. Another thing I love is that Dougray Scott's character, Sean, his interpretation of when he plays Ethan, you know. I love that it's just so drastically different and sinister. And then at one point he comments how it was so hard to be just fucking smiling the whole time like a dumbass. I love that shit. So thank you for that. I want to tear this movie a completely new one, but there's enough good things in here to keep me interested, and a lot of the bad things just make me laugh anyway. Tandy Newton is kind of caught in between Sean and Ethan because this movie is a love triangle, essentially.
Okay? Triangle, bitch. Study.
Tom Cruise is so intense. Immediately after the last scene I just mentioned, he is yelling.
We've got 19 hours and 58 minutes! I'll get Bellerophon into your system before then! Just stay alive! I'm not going to lose you!
Just stay alive! There's one point where Sean, played by Dougray Scott, who Fun fact, almost played Wolverine. Oof, ouch. But at one point, there's this comment. He says, "Well done, Hugh. Well done." Kind of felt like, this movie was directed by John Woo, who is a classic director of like Hong Kong cinema. Don't get it twisted. His style is dope. I don't think it fits a Mission Impossible movie. I gotta be honest. Or between the directing style or the editing, the camera just doesn't know how to focus. And you'll get like 4 shots of someone just turning their gun. Specifically Ethan. Just to clarify, the action is dope. It's just shot and edited weird. A lot of fucking wires. Anyway, there's one point where fucking Ethan's on a motorcycle. He's pointing his gun at the car, and it's like, it's like 4 shots. It's like, okay, we could settle down now. They haven't gotten this cheesy or this bad since then, luckily, because I don't think we would have made it to 7 and 8, which we're getting next year. Thank God this was a one and done experimental film. We're doing cons now, Ethan, okay? Bear with me. This is a rough one, as I stated already. I'm just going to start off with this treatment of women. Whew, horrible. Very early on, we're introduced to Anthony Hopkins, who plays Ethan's boss. I don't remember his name. Don't ask. Now, this might get me in trouble, but Anthony Hopkins' character is so misogynistic. It's hilarious to me. I'm sorry. In real life, yes, don't be a dick. Hopefully I don't need to say this. Don't be a dick. He says some shit in this movie.
Well, then I misled you, or you made the wrong assumption. Either way, we are asking her to resume a prior relationship, not do anything she hasn't already done. Voluntarily, I might add.
She's got no training for this kind of thing.
But to go to bed with a man and lie to him, she's a woman. She's got all the training she needs.
I don't think I can get her to do it.
You mean it'll be difficult?
Very.
Well, this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
So, as I was trying to close out on pros, I started mentioning editing and the directing. It is not cohesive. I was trying to talk about pros, but I couldn't help it. The cons just start bleeding out, and here we are. Bear with me. Whereas the first one had a cheesy charm to it because it was a throwback. It was a continuation, a throwback of the original series. That made sense to me. This one, fucking John Woo and company just took it in a whole new direction, which is great to do for a sequel. I hate to see a repeat of the last one. However, this was too far. A step way too far. Luckily, you still get your John Woo isms, such as like the doves and the pigeons and the 2 pistols and all that. Someone needed to cut this movie down with an edit. Please. Tandy Newton's character is, she's gorgeous. No question to me, okay? The camera operator fucking loves Tandy Newton. She is gorgeous in this movie, but damn. It is Michael Bay-esque. If you've seen the first 5 or so Transformers movies, you probably know what I'm talking about. But damn. She was gorgeous though. Anyway, Tandy's character is tease you, save me. I'm going to tease you, and then I need you to save me. It's bad. It's bad. And it's no fault of her own. I understand that you got to work with the material, just like the actor who played Claire in the last movie. It was a shit show for her as well. So, but yeah, the writing does improve for the women, and overall, just the characters become more characters as the series progresses, especially in the 4th one. I've noticed that's when it really takes a big leap and expands. This movie is garbage. can't recommend this movie unless you have like a nostalgia factor to it, like me. I grew up hate watching the shit out of this at a young age, so I'm a unique guy, I guess. I love to torture myself with bad movies. Can't wait to do more bad movie reviews. Those are the ones I really love. We'll get there. There's this scene where Sean is chasing Ethan down, and Ethan doesn't have a gun for whatever reason. Sean runs out of ammo after being a fucking stormtrooper. Of course, he runs out of ammo, so these motherfuckers decide to play chicken in the most ultimate way. It's ridiculous. Motherfuckers really was like, where's your weapons? We have motorcycles. We're fine. Luther shows up in a helicopter providing air support or whatever, and this motherfucking noob tube someone's on a bridge and almost kills Ethan. Yeah, it looks cool to drive through the fire, but you almost killed your boy, man. The fight choreography is insane in this movie. I love Hard Boiled, which is a film by John Woo. I wish I pulled it out for the video, because that movie doesn't get a lot of love now. It's just recently had its 30th anniversary last year. Anyway, John Woo, iconic director. It's just not right. I don't know how to say it any better than that. I should have put this in the pros, but fuck it. Fucking Sean tries to deliver the people's elbow on Ethan, and bravo. So we're just gonna blah 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 it up. Tandy Newton's character injects herself with this disease or virus called Chimera, which is deadly after 20 or so hours. Long story short, Ethan Hunt kills the bad guy, of course, because, you know, Mission Impossible's got to be possible. And he gets the girl, of course. He's Ethan Hunt. There's one point, though, where I guess Tandy Newton's character is cured off screen. So we get Anthony Hopkins, the misogynist character, to provide a voiceover. He ends up calling her Miss Hall. At one point, we swore we heard, if you close your eyes at that very moment, with this character being so misogynistic, maybe you might hear,
Miss Hall's blood, it appears, has absolutely no elements of the Chimera virus, not even antibodies. Miss Hall's blood. We're going to end on that one. We got to get through Mission Impossible 3 before we can start ranking these bad boys. Once we're done with that, we're going to rank the original trilogy, which I would say is the weaker of the two trilogies so far. Probably not a surprise there. These movies got better as they kept going. Are you ready to jump into Mission Impossible 3? Are you sure? Okay, let's go. Hi, Tom. This is the last one, okay? And then we're going to start ranking. You okay with that? Cool. I'm going to do it anyway. So, this one will conclude our trilogy, our OG trilogy. Let's start with some backstory on this movie. Gotta be honest, this is the one I've seen the least in the entire series. Yes. Even after all the bullshit I had to say about the second one, I've seen that a million times back in the day. Okay, fans of the third one, bear with me, okay? I just don't have the attachment to it. The cold open in this movie, it's great. Fucking brutal. This right here, this shit, that, what just happened, that was intense. And then they hold that for a second. Even with the theme song, it doesn't kick in immediately. I'm like, oh. Dumb. Okay, all right, okay. We're good.
No.
10.
Nice touch on that. Great intro. Immediately, we're like reintroduced to Ethan Hunt. Yeah, it's like, did Ethan go blue collar? Like now he has a regular job, or is it just fucking with us? I wasn't sure the first time, of course. Early on, we're reintroduced to Ethan Hunt, and he is currently with his girlfriend, played by Michelle Monaghan. And she's got a brother, played by someone very familiar to me. You might know him from a little show that involves that guy. Yeah, Jesse Pinkman is in this shit. Not for long, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. It's much better than his Price is Right performance, so give it that at least, okay?
You're the man, Bob! Oh, you're my idol! Oh, Parker!
26,368. You're over. Oh, and by so little.
Where's my money, bitch? I ain't gonna keep asking nice!
It's very uniquely paced and shot. It's tense. Yeah, the intro alone, as I mentioned, was enough. When it let you go, it would just build back up. And it's like, damn it. Okay, movie, let me breathe. Settle down, okay? I'm an anxious mess enough already. I like that Kerry Russell's character, Ferris, calls a magazine as opposed to a clip. It's a personal touch that I appreciate. It's something my dad ingrained within me, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, that's fun for me. Little things like that. There's a pretty exciting helicopter chase. I thought it was really well done. At one point, the pilot comments on how lucky they got and how we only get one of those.
Hey, Charlie, hold on! Okay, that was lucky. We only got one of those.
Of course, they get lucky a million times over. But if you put in the writing, I usually can let it slide. I can appreciate that usually. Oh, Kerry Russell does not make it past the helicopter scene. Her death. Oh. I did not remember how brutal that was. Okay, I knew she was going to die when I rewatched it today. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. The way she just goes out. Reminds me of Jack Steph in the first one. How that made me feel, and I kept that with me for, 2.5 decades. Rest in peace, Ferris. I can count on one hand how many times I've seen this movie. I'm pretty sure. Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie. He's fucking killing it. Surprise, surprise. I always loved Lawrence Fishburne. You might know him as like Morpheus, the Bowery King, but no. Furious from Boys in the Hood. Come on, Ike Turner. He don't care what gender you are. He will treat you like shit. Okay, he's very equal opportunity, which I can appreciate. So, consistency, baby. I mentioned how very early on in the first movie, the mask tear scene was really great. In this one, they build a mask of Philip Seymour Hoffman's character. And the transition from the prosthetic to the actor was bravo. I gotta say, once again, these masks are really convincing to me. There's not a lot of misses, mainly hits, and usually they're way ahead of their time. So, bravo. Another thing I can appreciate about Ethan Hunt in this movie is that he's not invulnerable. Even though he can run his ass off, I'm willing to bet right now he's out there running somewhere. Be on the lookout. But no, he actually gets caught by the bad guys. He gets tranquilized, and he's not like taking 3, 4, 5 of them like Riddick. Yeah, not very controversial to say stakes are important. So when your hero's invincible, stakes are kind of low, so I can appreciate this.
Not going down.
Just go down.
The two things that I remember the most about this movie are the way Philip Seymour Hoffman portrayed his character and commanded the screen. Bravo. Rest in peace as well. The other thing is Ferris's death. Now, I mentioned earlier, I didn't remember that. I fucking remember it now. Oh my God, that ain't going nowhere. Every time I watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I'm going to be thinking about this now. I mean, it's just ruined one of my favorite movies of all time. I'll have to carry on without you, though. Carrie. I'm firing myself on that one. It wasn't planned. Time for cons. There's bound to be things I missed, but here's some things that really stood out to me. This version of Tom Cruise in this era used to scare the shit out of me. That is peak crazy era Tom Cruise. Jumping on couches. Yeah, this is when I was avoiding Tom Cruise for a couple years. He was just a little too all over the place for me. Even 12-year-old me just kind of veered off a little bit. Just a little bit, we gave him some space for a few years. I hate the trope of like the young man. I really hate the old man, young woman trope. Like when we did this movie. During that helicopter scene I mentioned, long story short, things are destroyed. There's debris falling down, and randomly there's just herd of sheep. Poor sheep. They really just caught the short stick on that one. I didn't know why they were there in the first place. Some of them got it. It's tragic because, I just think of that Bone Thugs and Harmony song. How would a sheep sing it? And I'm going to miss everybody. Yeah, I hate Me Too. Don't worry. Michelle Monaghan is a nurse at a hospital. And at some point, her and Ethan get married while she's on the clock. And then they have sex in what looks like the utility closet or equipment closet. I don't know. You can't have sex in there. That's unsanitary. At least you shouldn't have sex in there, okay? Come on, y'all. I know, I get it. Tension's hot, but come on. During the bridge scene, a random stranger is heard yelling, "Does anyone have a cell phone?" Like, oof, I forgot. 2006 was rough. With that being said, 2006, this is still pretty heavy into the war on terror during the Bush administration. So, of course, the bad guys are Middle Eastern. Of course, you'll hear words like jihad and all that. This movie is patriotism, yo. Blind patriotism. America versus the Middle East. What America does best is clean up.
U.S. Security Council will get a report by this time tomorrow. We're talking a military strike within a week. And when the sand settles, our country will do what it does best. Clean up. Infrastructure. Democracy wins.
What? That's what we do best? It's like wherever we land, we don't leave. So, yeah. Settle down. Clean up. Shit. Ethan uncuffs himself by using a pen, but the center part, the little like flimsy middle piece, they had a cut away from him trying to pick the lock like this because it's unfucking believable. The way Ethan kills Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, elbowy, like it's just throwing bows. You know what I mean? Like, what is this, Christian Bale Batman? After the villain's death, Ethan is mansplaining how to load and shoot a gun. Just saying the most basic shit. Like, I don't know. You put the magazine in, you pull that. Sorry. I'll pay you back. Even for someone who hasn't shot a gun before, knows the basic stuff. I won't get hung up on that. It also takes her an entire magazine to kill one enemy, and then about 5 or so bullets to kill another one. They established that one magazine is 15 rounds. Ethan says that to her. So she takes an entire magazine to kill one guy, and then about a third of another one to kill the other. Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, I think it's time to rank these bad boys. So, we've got our trilogy in hand in some kind of order. Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible 3, and then the worst one is Mission Impossible 2. But I'm the bad habits, y'all. I'm sorry, I gotta do this to y'all. So we actually are gonna do a slight change here. Still going from worst to best. Worst to best here. Bear with me, folks. So the third one, I won't be watching this anytime soon, you know. I've had my fix for a while. I mentioned how I've seen this last year, and that's way too soon. You know what? I take that back. This is still a joyride for me. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I love this movie. It's so bad. It's schlocky. It's dated. It's old. It's the one for me, dog. Yeah. Still holds up, in my opinion. Wow. So, we just completely ranked the OG trilogy. Thank you so much for joining me. We're not done. Yeah. We still got to do these. Come on now. Didn't I say the 7th one is coming out on my birthday? To celebrate my birthday month, we're not just doing the OG trilogy. We're doing every fucking impossible mission. We're doing them all. I will be reviewing the second trilogy in this series very soon. Very excited as well. So we will have 4 more Mission Impossible reviews within the next 2 weeks. So hang tight, okay? And while I'm working on that, there's this huge project I've actually been working on with myself. Weird way to explain this. How about I just show a slight preview? There you go. I hope you have questions. Answers will be coming. That's all I can really say. I hope you enjoy. Please tune in. It is coming soon. I'm trying to just branch out a little bit. Multiversal movie reviews. Episode 1, the pilot, is going to be on Logan. Yes. I love this movie. I don't know if I have a favorite movie. If I do, this is a contender for sure. I can't give away everything. Very early on into the editing phase, but I've shot all of it. I hope it works out. From that, I will leave you alone. Finally, you have been a hostage long enough. So go away. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time, folks. This is TVH. I'm signing out. Deuces.